Welcome to day one of our goal setting challenge. Yay! I'm so happy you made it, and just give yourself a pat on the back or on the shoulder and say congratulations. I mean, give yourself some self appreciation for being on this challenge because you've taken the first step to the next amazing you. You've taken the first step to creating a new you. And I'm so glad and I'm so excited at what you will achieve this year. So today we'll be talking about how to create goals that actually work and achieve them this year. Today, we are not joking, we're not kidding. We're talking about how to transform your life so that your life becomes more predictable, you become an achiever, and you're taking the first step, which is to set those goals, the right goals. And that's the first step, which is why I'm so excited that you are on this journey because I know that this is totally transformative and you will testify. You will share the results and we will celebrate with you. So you are very welcome. In the next 45 minutes, I'll be covering the day one of this challenge. So my name's Doris Idahor, and for over 20 years, I've been working in leadership and personal development, helping hundreds of professionals and individuals to transform their lives through proven success principles. I've seen firsthand the struggles that people face with traditional goal setting methods, and today I'll share a proven path to overcome these hurdles. I'm a consultant, a pastor, and entrepreneur with my clients, including all the major international organizations, and working with over 100 public institutions in the design and establishment of human resource and management systems that help them to function better. But by far, what gives me the greatest joy is helping others to find their divine purpose in life and discover their potential and activate the inner giants in them so they achieve great things. Let me share something deeply personal with you that totally transformed my life. For as long as I remember, I have dreamt of success. As a little girl, I envisioned myself as a highly respected doctor, living in a beautiful mansion. You know, all our childhood dreams and fantasies. I'm just sharing some of mine. Surrounded by a loving family and just really having a life, an enviable lifestyle, a dream lifestyle. That was my dream. But you know, life, as many of us have discovered, rarely goes as planned. So one of my first major detours came when I couldn't gain admission to medical school. So I had to settle for pharmacy, which is a great course, by the way. But that was not my original plan. That was not my dream job at the onset. I had to settle for it because that was what was offered in place of the course I couldn't get admission for. And I accepted that with a plan to change later, but I changed my mind, because I settled. I settled because, I looked at the cost of change and what it would cost, what that change would cost me, leaving my friends I had formed, leaving my comfort zone and moving to a place, a new territories. And I decided to just settle. And that was my first case. I succumbed to my first case of dream replacement. And while I graduated a pharmacist and I enjoyed many aspects of my work, but I soon discovered that, the health sector was structured differently from what I thought. And I was living below my potential. So for many years, I was working in that profession, but I found that I couldn't really get the full satisfaction that I craved. The turning point came years later when my family relocated to a new country, offering me a chance of reinvention. But that wasn't the kumbaya moment that I expected. Everything literally ground to a halt. I was jobless. I was experiencing something close to a midlife crisis. I was jobless. I was planless. I really was stuck. I really didn't know what to do at that point. Was applying for job after job, and I was getting turned down by every employer possible. I was moving from industry to industry, and eventually I was able to get a space somewhere. Through long story for another day. So I was able to get a space somewhere, but instead of finding the clarity I needed, I found myself in a role that was far removed from my passions, working as a banker by day while pursuing a master's degree in public health by night. So I felt stuck between two incompatible industries. I was exhausted, I was unfulfilled, and it was tough. So I was desperate. I needed a big break in my career, but none seemed to be forthcoming. Then one day I had an experience that literally transformed my life. As part of a leadership course I was taking, I was given an assignment to sketch that led me to sketch out a blueprint for my life. It was a plan to reclaim my dreams, to reshape my direction, and to rewrite my future. I was really very particular about utilizing that assignment to map out a blueprint for my life and for my future. And that was nothing short of transformational for me. So I came up with a plan that I knew right away that if I could only just follow this plan, it will take me to my desired future. And yes, the picture you see is a part of the very plan I had on my wall for months. It was a detailed plan for how I would go from where I was at that point in time to where I wanted to be. It was a holistic plan for how I would grow myself first and then grow every other thing about me. But primarily, this plan was focused on my career, on how I would go from where I was to getting to where I wanted to be. And wow, that was a life transforming moment for me. So I quickly started on that journey and worked meticulously, took consistent action, and within 2 years, my life had transformed. My income more than doubled. Within 3 years, it had grown like 5 times. And I wasn't just making money, I was thriving. I was thriving for the first time in many years. I was doing what I really loved and getting paid for it. But the transformation didn't stop there. By applying those same principles, I have started to excel in many areas of my life where I had struggled with public speaking. I now address high profile gatherings with confidence. Where I once lacked consistency in fitness, I was now completing marathons. The shy and timid person I had been was gone. And this wasn't just about career success, it was about becoming a fuller and more fulfilled version of myself. The success script formula that I crafted isn't just a theoretical concept, is a proven blueprint that anyone can use to reclaim their dreams. So you can use it as well to break the barriers that you are facing right now and create a life of purpose, fulfillment, and boundless success. And I've shared it with others and I've watched them achieve incredible transformations in their life, from no job to getting two job offers within a month, others securing better jobs, earning international scholarship, launching businesses, running marathons, and achieving incredible spiritual growth. Today, I want to give you the tools to create your own transformation. You don't have to live in regret or feel stuck in a life that undervalues you. The blueprint is simple, actionable, and designed to help you unlock your full potential. And this is why I'm so excited to share it with you. The exact framework that makes success predictable, so that success is no longer a guesswork, but success becomes sure for you. I want to take you to a point to move from where you are now to a point where success is sure, success is predictable. And so we're going to look at how to set goals that make success your lifestyle, so that success is no longer something you want to achieve as a landmark achievement, but it becomes a daily lifestyle of success. That your lifestyle becomes of success. Sometimes people get really amazed at some of the things I'm able to achieve. And to be honest, sometimes I surprise myself too. I'm amazed. I'm looking at myself. I'm like, is this you? Because a few years ago, I couldn't do it. A few years ago, this was some high bar for me. But now it's become second nature to me. And this reminds me of when my son was learning how to walk. It used to be such a chore for him, such an effort to move one step and he'll fall, one step and he'll fall down, another step or two steps and he's down again. But he keeps pushing, he kept pushing. And I remember I used to stand in front of him and was hailing him, yeah, 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 come, 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 come. And I'll be hailing him and I'll take the camera and I'll be videoing every step of the way. And if it can only take 10 steps, it was a huge achievement for him. But today, he can walk without thinking. For many years now, he's been walking, walking, walking. So walking is second nature, is nature to him. And he doesn't have to think about, how do I move this step? How do I move this step? It's second nature to him because he's been doing it. He's been achieving it for years and years. And success in walking has become a lifestyle. So what is it that you are finding so difficult to achieve today? You can get to a point where it becomes your lifestyle. It becomes your lifestyle to succeed in literally almost everything you set your mind to do, because you have built the systems that make success predictable and make success a lifestyle. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you get there as well. So it doesn't matter where you are in your career right now, or in your spiritual life, or your professional life. It doesn't matter where you are. Who is this challenge for? It's for you, a professional who is feeling stuck in your career, or you've grown to a certain level, but you know that there's something higher, and you're finding it difficult to make that move to climb up to the next step. This is for you. You need clarity or you want to make a career transition. This is for you. This challenge is for you. If you are also a faith-driven person, you are a person of faith, you really want to fulfill divine purpose in what you do, and you want to align your goals to your divine purpose, this challenge is for you. If you're an action taker and you are tired of reading or attending trainings, and you now want to put things into practice, you are tired of hearing from other people's success stories and you want to create your own success story, you are action taker, you are ready to make a change in your life, then this challenge is definitely for you. So if you really want to get this challenge right and get the best out of this challenge, I'll advise you to do something right now. Leave where you are. If you are in the midst of people, or you are in a noisy environment, or the TV is on, turn off the TV, go to a quiet place where you can watch this training with no distraction. If you have to lock yourself up and put a sign on the door, please do not disturb, thank you. Do that so that you can really have a quiet moment. You can really have a few minutes of quiet to absorb this, because I tell you, it's truly life transforming. It's transformed my life and it's transformed the life of many others, and your life is next to be transformed. So you really want to take this moment very seriously and block out every distraction that has been on your path, so that you can absorb this fully and get the best value from this training. And if you stay till the end of this training, I do have some gifts for you. So to make your time really worthwhile and to really ensure that you have the tools you need to practicalize everything that you have learned. Because if you know me, I'm a very hands-on person. I'm very practical. I don't do too many theories. I'm real. I'm for real. So I love to give you tools that will help you to practicalize this. So you go from hearing theories that you've been hearing since you were born to actually getting the tools that can help you grow. So if you stay till the end of this training, I'll send you the my personal success script planner, which is of $97 value. And this is a comprehensive workbook designed to help you implement everything that you'll be learning during this training. In addition, you'll be getting the PowerPoint to this webinar. And I tell you, this value is really low for the PowerPoint. This is something that was developed from many years of experience, decades of experience, of research, of trials, of errors, of failures, of successes, and of learnings and of breakthroughs. This my soul is literally in this PowerPoint, literally poured out to ensure that you achieve the same success I have achieved and even exceed me tremendously. That's my deepest desire for you. So I'll be sharing the webinar PowerPoints with you if you wait till the end of this webinar. And you also get to have exclusive access to my group coaching program, which is priceless. I mean, there's nothing like having somebody holding your hands. There's been some things I've been trying to get lately, and I struggled. I've asked quite a lot of people and I couldn't get it. So I started researching. And by the time I found the solution, it was so simple. I almost cried. I was like, I wish I had a coach. I wish I had a coach. Even if I had to pay the person, some amount, I'll be willing to part with that to get this help, because it was so simple. It's not something that should have taken me years of research, of looking for it to find it. If only I had somebody to guide me. So that's why I always advocate for people to have a coach or a mentor, because they can save you your life, literally. They can save you tons of time. So you have exclusive access to my group coaching program, so that you can get the benefit of my advice and mentorship in what you do. And there'll be extra bonuses for quick action takers at the end of the challenge. Okay, so if you do have any questions over the course of this training, feel free to drop it in the chat and we'll reach out to you. We'll answer them and incorporate them into future trainings. We'll answer them, of course, and also incorporate them also as needed. So feel free to type out your questions as you go along. Don't keep them to yourself. Type it out. It will be useful to you and to others that will watch the training afterwards. So, just to give you an idea of what I'm going to be talking about today, here's what you'll be learning exactly during the course of this webinar. So, the first is that you learn why most goals fail before February. Every new year you have people setting new year resolutions, some of them setting goals that they want to achieve that year, and you probably have done that before. You have been doing that, I'm sure, every year. Everyone is talking of goals, so you're like, oh, it's a new year, it's an opportunity to set some goals, and we're really pumped up and excited, and we're setting all kinds of goals. And by the time it's June, you are reminded, like, I set this goal in January. What have I done? I've not done much. Okay, I'll try to do something. And then you do a little bit. And by August, oh, this goal, I've forgotten, I dropped it somewhere, and you are even good if you get to June or August. Many people don't even finish the first week of January before they forget everything. And when they get into February, most people lose momentum. So I'll be showing you why goals fail and exactly what you need to do to make sure that yours don't. You also learn how to create goals that actually work using my proven 3Ps framework. I am telling you, this framework was developed by divine revelation and it's been powerful. It's been powerful. So you will learn how to use this, how to align your goals with the 3P framework to ensure that you are aligned, you are setting the exact right goals that you should be setting. And that's the first step for priming yourself for goal success, for goal achievement. You also learn the secrets to making success predictable. Let me ask you a question. How would you feel if you knew that everything you set your mind to do, you will achieve it? How would life feel for you? How amazing will your life be if success becomes predictable to you? That you want to run a marathon and you run it. You want to write a book, you write it. You want to pray for 6 hours, you do it. You want to whatever you want to pass a certification exam, you pass at first sitting and you make success look so easy. How would you feel if you get to that point where everything becomes so predictable? I'm telling you, is a place of, I don't know how to describe it. It's amazing. It's amazing. I know that I'm living a blessed life. I'm living a blessed life. There's so many things that many people struggle to achieve that it takes them so much effort. And I just do something one, two, three, and it's done. Why? Because I've built the systems. We'll come to that in a moment. I've built the systems that make success predictable. Now, will you succeed at absolutely everything? Well, there are some things you may not succeed at one time, but there's something Tyler Perry said. I was watching one of his stories one time, and it spoke to my soul. He said, "You never fail. You either succeed or you learn. You either succeed or you learn." So failure is not an end point. It's just a lesson. It's a lesson along your way to success. So making success predictable means that you know that you will succeed at this and you are just learning. So if when you make a first attempt and you fail, you take the lessons from that and you dust yourself up and you stand up and you go for it. So we're going to show you the secrets to making success predictable. I'm really so excited already at where you are going. So now, why do most goals fail? What are the common traps? Why do people set goals and they don't achieve it? And year in, year out, year in, year out, you see them in the same place all the time. And it's so difficult. And then you see them struggle to achieve something. Or you see other people at a level where those things are like second nature for them. Just like the story of my son who used to have to take so much effort to move one step, but now he runs. Even he doesn't just walk, he runs. Now he runs effortlessly, and it's amazing. So how do you go from taking having so much difficulty to achieve something to having ease achieving it, while others are struggling? So we want to look at, it's important to look at why people are struggling so that you know. And you see, when you see these traps and these pitfalls, you are able to jump over them. You are able to avoid them so that you do not struggle, so that goal achievement becomes easy for you, becomes more predictable for you. So why do people fail? Why do most goals fail? One, for lack of clarity. So goals, there are many goals that are too vague or uninspiring. So many people set goals, and because maybe they are too busy firefighting, so many responsibilities, and it's hard for them to lift your head up to really look at the horizon. So we get so caught up in survival mode that we forget to ask ourselves, where do I really want to be? What do I want to achieve? Many times we settle, so we set goals that maybe we see other people setting, and we're not really very clear. Personally, we don't have that personal clarity that this is what I want to do. Many times we are constrained by things around us. Maybe we're looking at our situation, and we're looking at it and we're wondering, like, um, how will I achieve this thing? Maybe this option is not for me. This is way out of my options. So let me set goals that are within this option, because this is where I am. So this is you do not have clear personal clarity about your goals. You are afraid to want what we really want deep down, because you feel that you do not have the resources to achieve it. And this is something that my husband always talks about, to dream. And we'll talk about it when we come to vision. So maybe I'll just keep it. I'll keep that. When we come to vision, we'll talk about it. Okay. So do not, we're scared. We're scared to dream. We're scared to dream. So because of that, we just settle for something, and we're not very clear. And we're not very clear that this is exactly what I want to achieve. But we say, okay, maybe this is what I want to do for now. And that removes, it sucks away the life from that goal. It sucks away when you are settling in your goal setting. It sucks away the life from that goal. You don't own it. It's no longer your own. It's not your goal. It's because somebody, you just want to keep up with expectations. So you lack clarity, and it becomes uninspiring to you, and you no longer are motivated to achieve it. Unrealistic expectations. So sometimes also people set unrealistic expectations. You just set vague goals that, oh, I want to do this. We enter into the someday trap, because you are not sure. You have a goal, you are here, and you have a goal that is here, and you are not sure what is in between. There's no clarity about, there's no clear roadmap. So you set a goal without a plan. So your expectations are unrealistic, because you haven't really been real with yourself. How do I achieve this goal? So you set unrealistic goals, and you have unrealistic expectations with achieving those goals, because you just feel like the goals will manifest themselves. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to make it happen. You have to make it happen. So another thing is over reliance on motivation. So many of us feel like to achieve our goals, we have to be motivated. So after setting your goal, maybe you wake up the next day and wow, you are pumped up, you are excited, you want to go out and achieve those goals. But as soon as you take the first step out, or the second step, then you meet hurdles, you meet challenges, life happens, so many things happen. Oh, the things you planned, your assumptions did not work out as planned. So you get frustrated, you get tired, your energy zaps out, and it is sapped out. And before you know it, you lose motivation, you lose momentum. Or one day you wake up, you're not feeling so fine, you're not feeling so happy, or somebody did something that upset you. Oh, and at that point, you are not feeling like working on your goals again. You don't feel like doing it. Hello. Goals are not done by feelings. Goals are not dependent. Goal achievement is not done by feelings. You have to motivate yourself. So whether you feel like it or you don't feel like it, you need to get going with your goals. So why most goals fail is because people rely on motivation to keep them going, and once that motivation ebbs, then they lapse back. So I'm going to train you in the course of this goal setting challenge on how to build systems that remove the goal achievement from how you feel, or what energy you have, or who upset you, or what challenge you have. It removes it from you, and you build a system that works, and all you have to do is just follow that system and you achieve certain success. Okay, so I'm going to show you that during the course of this challenge so that it's no longer dependent on how you feel, but you've developed a script and you have a system that works, and you just plug into that system, and at the end of that system, and you go from step 1, step 2, step 3, and by the time you get to step 5, you have achieved your goal. And how would it feel to have that system? How would it feel to have that system? Just type it, type it. How would you feel if you had that system that gives you clarity, that helps you to understand that no matter how you feel, no matter what's going on in your life, you are able to go from step 1, step 2, step 3, and you've gotten to your goal achievement? How would it feel? Type it, type it. Let me see. Okay, so now, what are the missing elements in the traditional goal setting? Because some of you have been setting goals from year to year, and maybe you are wondering, so what's different? I've been setting goals and I've not been able to achieve it. So let's see what might have been some of the issues, as we have said. Now, specificity and purpose. So many of your goals, and I'm going to shock you in day 2 of the challenge. I'm going to shock you because many times people feel that their goals are specific, their goals are clear. But I'm going to show you that many of the goals you've been setting are not specific, and they do not fit, they are not fit for purpose. So specificity and purpose is really important when setting goals. And the second thing is to have a clear roadmap. So we've talked about vague goals and unrealistic expectations. So you don't have a clear roadmap. You set your goals and you just put it down somewhere, and you go out you go out for lunch, or to sleep, or to play, or to do whatever, or to live your life. You go back to normal routine. So there's no clear roadmap of how to achieve the goal. This is one of the reasons your goals might have been failing, and this is the difference between the traditional goal setting and the system that I'll be showing you in a moment. And then lack of sustainable habits. I cannot emphasize this enough. I cannot emphasize this enough. Let me tell you something. One secret to goal achievement. One year, your year is made up of months. Your months. Your months are made up of your weeks, and your weeks are made up of your days, and your days are made up of your hours, and your hours are made up of your minutes, and your minutes are made up of your seconds, and your seconds are made up of your moments. So show me how you spend your moments, your seconds, your minutes, your hours, your days, and I will show you how your goals will be achieved at the end of the year. If and how your goals will be achieved at the end of the year. So your daily habits will determine your weekly outcomes, and your weekly outcomes will determine your monthly milestones, and your monthly milestones will determine your goal achievement at the end of the year. I'll take that again. Developing sustainable daily habits is at the root of goal achievement. So, what are your daily habits? How do you structure your day? Do you have a structure to your day? Or do you just wake up without any structure? Oh, I go to work and I come back, and maybe after work, maybe I do this, maybe I do that. And how do you structure your day? Even your first few things you do in the morning. Do you have a wake up time? What are the first 3 things you do after you wake up? Those things are incredibly important to goal achievement. Your structure, your daily structure. So developing sustainable daily habits will set you up for getting the right weekly outcomes, achieving the right monthly milestones, and achieving your overall goal for the year. So ask yourself, what are your daily habits? Do you have a structured day? Or do you allow events and friends and every other circumstance to take over your day? That's a very important question if you want to achieve your goals. And nothing illustrates this better than my experience last year. So, for the past 3 years, I have been completing the Bible every year from Genesis to Revelation. And I had that as part of my goal last year to complete the Bible. But last year for me was a monumental year. Last year I turned 50. Yeah, I celebrated my golden jubilee, and then my marriage. We celebrated our 25th anniversary, which was our silver jubilee. So it was huge for me. And in honor of the golden jubilee, I had the inspiration to write my book, The Open Secrets. So let me show you this special thing, something special. So The Open Secret. So I had the inspiration to write this book and publish it. And I also, in gratitude to God, I promised I would learn to worship Him in 50 languages all around the world. So it was a really huge year for me, and a packed and busy year with my day job, my family commitments, my ministry, and then I was writing a book, planning a big event, publishing the book, learning 50 languages. Although I didn't complete the 50, I'm still on that journey, but I'm almost at 40 languages globally, worshiping God in a few phrases, in about 5 sentences, in 40 languages, learning pronunciations, downloading apps, asking people. So it was a full year for me. And at the end of the process, when we got into December, I realized that I was still in the Old Testament in that goal to complete the Bible. I was still in the Old Testament. I was way behind schedule. So what did I do? I used one of the techniques, one of the systems and structures that I had put in place, and that was the Seinfeld method. I've written about this before. The Seinfeld method. What did he do? This is named after the comedian Jerry Seinfeld. And what does he do? He was not a particularly funny person from his own assessment, but what did he do? He made up his mind that every day he would write a joke. And how did he keep himself committed to that? He put a calendar up on his wall, and every day he writes a joke, he ticks it. Every day he writes a joke, he ticks it. And his method, his goal was, do not break the chain. Do not break the chain. So every day he ticks it. He writes a joke, he ticks it. Before long, Jerry Seinfeld became one of the most funny comedians, and he's become one of the most successful and richest comedians of all time. That is because of a simple, consistent daily habit. So I developed that habit, and I put myself on a Seinfeld method for completing the Bible. I told myself, you must not break the chain, because I had completed it for 3 years, and this was the fourth year. I was in December. I had not entered New Testament. I still had quite a bit of the Old Testament to complete before coming into the New Testament. So what did I do? I developed another method for completing the Bible. I'll share that later on, especially if you join the Goal Achievers Mastermind. You will hear and see some of the tools and strategy I use to achieve goals that people find so impossible to achieve, and make it simple, make it easy for you to achieve, far easier for you to achieve. So I use that method, and within less than a month, I was able to complete. So on December 31st last year, I was able to cross the finish line of Revelations 22. Oh, hallelujah. So that was a wonderful moment for me, that I didn't break the chain. I completed it 4 years in a row, and I've started again this year. I'm going to be completing, by the grace of God, this year for the 5th year in a row. And I hope you join me too. It's an amazing experience. It's something that everyone should do at least once in a lifetime, to complete the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. You see the big picture. It's a whole different experience. I know you've been reading Bible every day. You've been reading that for decades, and I was too. And I've been serving God for many decades, and I've been reading the Word of God and growing with it. But since I've been doing this for the last 5 years now, it's been different. It gives you a whole new perspective. You have the full picture. and it's never old. The more you do it, the more you learn. It's such an amazing journey, and I invite you to do it. And if you want to, if you're interested in and you've not yet started, just type in the comment and I'll give you the link, I'll give you directions and support you to get started. It doesn't matter what time of the year you are seeing this, you can join at any time and just take your pace, at least for the first year, and then for the second year you can now decide, okay, I want to go from Genesis all the way. Okay, so let's move on. How do you create goals that actually work? How do you create goals that actually work for you? That when you set goals, you actually achieve it and get to the point where you say, "Yay, I've done it." Okay, so I usually train on this, utilizing this. I usually start with this as a cautionary lesson before you even start any goal setting. This is something that you need to imbibe in your spirit. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with knowing where that road leads you. You don't want to start climbing a ladder until you are sure that it's leaning against the right building. Because if it's leaning against the wrong building, you're in trouble. So, and Thomas Merton once said that people may spend their whole life climbing the ladder of success only to find once they reach the top that the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall all along. What a wasted life. Is a tragedy, is a human tragedy. And I've seen it happen to many people. I've seen people who have been in one profession for 20, 30 years. They've even retired from that profession, and they retired um literally miserable. They retired broke, uh, with regrets, unfulfilled, because they've been climbing the wrong ladder. Just imagine that for your career, especially, this is because this is something, is your life's work, all your effort and your energy for all your life. This your life. So you have to consider it very seriously because it's your life's work. So imagine climbing that career ladder for 20, 25, 30 years, and you get to the top. And when you are supposed to feel really excited with achievement, and you look back and you are grateful and you are thankful and you are full of joy at all that you have done. Instead, you are full of regrets. You are broke. You are not where you want to be, and you are battered and you are frustrated. No, you don't want to have that life because 30 years has gone and you can never have it back. So make sure before you start to climb, make sure your ladder is leaning against the right wall. And how do you make sure that your ladder is leaning in the right place? It is by understanding your divine purpose. You need to understand your purpose. The Bible says in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5, it says, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and I ordained thee a prophet to the nations." Although God was speaking to Jeremiah, that word is as real for you as it was for him in his day. Before God formed you, he knew you. He had a blueprint for your life. He knew what he wanted you to become. He knew what he wanted you to achieve. He has that blueprint all drawn up. God is a business God and is the only wise God. He's such an amazing God. So he never does anything without planning. He has you all planned out. So the best thing for you to do yourself, the best thing you can do for yourself is to discover that blueprint. And that has been my prayer for many years until God showed me. And is to discover your blueprint, the blueprint for why he created you. Once you understand your purpose, then everything flows. You know, Miles Monroe once said something. He said, if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. I have a phone. If I'm not sure, if I give this phone to a 1-year-old, he will have no idea of the purpose of the phone. So what's the next thing he will do? Or a 6 month old, maybe in these days 1-year-olds know what phones are. Okay, 6 months old, what's the next thing he will do? He'll put it in his mouth or in her mouth and start chewing it, because he or she does not know the purpose. And before long, saliva will enter into the phone and damage it. So abuse is inevitable if the purpose is not known. If you are not sure of that blueprint for which God created you to achieve, you will abuse your life. You will misuse your life. And you will not achieve that for which he created you to achieve. And to me, that is the greatest tragedy of humanity. How can God create you special? The Bible says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. He put in so much in making you, and then he made you, and you do not do anything he made you to do. That's an incredible waste of investment, divine investment. And I wouldn't want you, and I'm sure you are watching this, you are still with me because you do not want your life to be wasted. So if you do not, it's important for you to understand your purpose. And there are 3 P's I have come to recognize that lead us to our purpose. 3 P's that I've identified to identifying your 4th P, which is your purpose. So there are 3 P's that help you. Where's the camera? There are 3 P's that help you to identify your 4th P, which is your main P, your purpose, your divine purpose. So what are those 3 P's to identifying your purpose? Number 1, your power. Number 2, your passion. Number 3, your pain. Your power, your passion, your pain. And I will explain them in a moment. Your power. Your powers are your strengths, those things that you are good at, those things that you are strong at, those things that people say, oh, this is your strength. And if you don't know, all of us, we know our strengths anyway. But if you want to also find out, you can ask your friends, ask the people around you, what am I good at? What do you admire the most about me? To know your strengths. So your power, and this could be your natural talents. These are things that your innate ability that you were born with, or it could be your learned skills. So skills that you have learned over the years. Maybe you attended a training, you studied a course, you have specialized in a field. These are your power. Your experiences, your life experiences have become your power. If you have gone through childbirth, for instance, that's just your power. That means that you can mentor women who are pregnant for the first time, because you've gone through that experience, and you can share your experience and your lessons along the way with others. So these are your power. So long as you've had one experience, it's your power. Okay, of course, there are levels of power. So the more, the better. So the more your experience, the more you're learning, the more your skills, the better. However, you don't even need to be way there, up there. Remember, that's why we are setting goals to get us there. So once you have that power, you can set your goal. And I'm not saying you must set your goal on all your power areas, okay? But it gives you a sense of where you should be setting your goals on. So again, once you have it at a level, you can set your goals, and then making closing the gap between where you are and where you want to be is the learning and the implementation that you now need to do between your goal setting and goal achievement. So your power are your strength, your natural ability, your talent, your learned skills, and your experiences and your areas of expertise. Your passion. Your passions are the things that trip you up, that really give you joy, that is fun to do, you love doing it, you can do it for free even if no one is paying you for it. You can do it all day and you never get tired. That's your passion. It lights up your life. It gives you joy. It gives you a sense of fulfillment. That's your passion. Many times our careers, is important to align your career at the intersection between your power and your passion, so that you are doing what you love to do and you know how to do it. So you are motivated and you are capable of doing it and you are able to achieve much. So if you know that you are in a career where your powers are not aligned with your passion, maybe you have some skills but you have lost passion, then it's time to look at something more passion, something that you are more passionate about. And let me just give you a few pointers. It may not really be a total change of career. So for instance, somebody was asking the other day that you're a teacher, the person is a teacher, and he's not finding, and everyone is not finding that fulfillment. Everyone is looking at him that, oh, you should be more than this, you should be doing more than this, you should go to other more exciting profession. Or he loves teaching, he wants to teach, but he wants to feel more fulfilled in it. And what did I say? I advised that he could add something more to it, add something to it. So for instance, you can write a book on teaching techniques for teachers. You can write books for teachers. Having had that long experience and passion for teaching, you can go into writing about teaching for teachers, writing teaching techniques for teachers, and learning techniques for students. So you can write different books. You can write subject matter. Maybe if you are a chemistry teacher, you can write on chemistry, which is a subject matter book. You can write on teaching skills. You can study and document and test out different teaching skills that help learners to learn faster, and you can write on that. And you can write also learning skills that help learners to learn faster and pass exams. So there's so much you can do. You can also start to train people on how to teach. You can do webinars, you can do different coaching programs, and you can start to speak in conferences. You can do research and start to publish. There's so many dimensions you can take that into that will become exciting for you. So no matter how dreary your career is, you can either change your career if you want to change, or you can enrich your career. The same career that was dreary a moment ago, you can enrich it in such a way that it becomes really exciting for you. Okay, so let's move on now to pain. So your pains are things, painful experiences you've had in the past, things that people have done to hurt you, or weaknesses, personal weaknesses you have had, or tragedies, life tragedies that you have experienced. And I'll give you a few examples from all three. So for instance, people hurting, some people have been subject to domestic violence in the past, and because of that, they have developed programs or registered NGOs to help other women who are being domestically abused to find help and to find resolution to that problem, and to find access to justice for sexual and gender-based violence. So many of these women in this space have themselves been abused, and that was their motivation, for coming into that work. I'm not saying not all of them, but there's many that I know that have suffered it, and because of that pushed them into that field. So your pain can direct you in terms of the way to go. For me, it could be a personal weakness. So for me, I have struggled for life with, when I was young, I used to be really timid and shy, and I could barely speak to two people at a time, let alone to a room full of people, high level public officials or people from all walks of life, training them. I couldn't have imagined that would be me. But I went through an arduous journey to develop myself to the point that now I'm training leaders, at high level. And now it's my mission to help others to also discover and develop the kind of self-confidence that allows you to fulfill your purpose, to express that innate ability that God has given to you. Okay, so you can use your personal weakness and use that as a goal and set a goal. So some of you have been typing that, oh, you like to grow in your confidence, self-confidence. You can set that as a goal for 2025. You can set it as a goal. So set your goals that align with your 3 Ps so that you are in the right place. Okay, and in terms of life experience, some people have experienced some tragedies in life. I know of somebody who lost her only child to asthma, and because of that, she dedicated her life to helping others, who are battling the same illness, to get help. And she teamed up together with a charity club, a charity organization, and they were able to establish an oxygen plant in a major hospital, which helped save lives during the time of COVID. So her personal tragedy became her goal to help others to overcome that same tragedy, so that they don't go the same route that her son went, and many lives have been saved because of that. So your pain can lead you to your purpose, and can lead you to set goals that align with your purpose. So be reflective, think about it. What are your powers? And I need you to type it down in the comments. What are your powers? Is it that you know how to sing? You know how to speak well? You are very compassionate? Those are your powers. What are your passion? Oh, you love children, you love to speak, you love talking. Some people have that as a passion, but they use it wrongly. You can now start to channel the way you use your love for speaking to more productive and more purpose-driven use. What are your pains? What are your painful experiences you have undergone? You can start to channel those. So now let's move real quick. Don't worry, we're almost at the end. Aligning your goals with your purpose. So your goals, the intersection of your P's, your 3 P's, the intersection of your 3 P's point you to your divine purpose. So again, there are areas where your power and your pain overlap, where your passion and your power overlap, but there are also areas where the 3 overlap. That means you have the strength, you have some abilities in that area, you are passionate about that area, and you also have your own lived experience of pain in that area. So you are really driven to achieve success, to help others to achieve success as well in that area. So your first challenge activity is to identify your 3 P's. So I will ask you to pause this video right now and write it down. Identify your 3 P's. You can write it down on a notebook for now, but later on you will receive the success script planner, so you can note it down there. And that's the one that, if you want me to take a look at that, you can fill it. We do have a Google form that you can use to fill it, or you do it privately. It's all up to you. So if you want some accountability, you can use the Google form and fill it in later. But if you want it private to yourself, fine, it's up to you. Okay, so thank you very much. So just pause the video and take a moment to identify your 3 P's. Okay, so the next section is about how to make success predictable. Now that you understand how to start to even conceptualize your goal, how do you make success predictable? Now that you know your divine purpose, your 3 P's, now how do you take them and get to a point where you are walking in line and success becomes predictable for you? You are designing your own personal success script and you are walking in line with that script. Start with a vision. Yay! So start with a vision. The Bible says, write the vision, make it plain. I think it's Amos. Is it Amos? Write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that reads it. When it is written down, there's research that says that something you write down, a goal written down, is 3 times. You are 3 times more likely to achieve something you have written down than something that you did not write. You are 3 times more likely to achieve it. When I saw that, it changed my life. That means no longer will I be making my goals in my brain. I have to write it down. I have to get serious. The same thing with your vision. Start with a vision. And I'll tell you, when starting with a vision, there's something my husband always says that has been life transformational for me. My husband is a pastor, and oftentimes when he preaches, he asks, how much does it cost to pray to God to give you $100? It's free, right? It's free. Prayer is free. So praying for $100 is free. How much will it cost you to pray for $1,000? It's free too. How much will it cost you to pray for $10,000? It is free. How much will you pay heaven to pray for $1,000,000? It's free. Prayer is free. Small prayer is free. Big prayer is free. So the question arises, why are you praying for $100? If praying for $100 is free, and praying for $1,000,000 is free. So why exactly have you pledged yourself to praying only for $100 or whatever currency you pray for? Why are you praying for just that small amount when you can pray for the big one and it's all free? So the same principle applies to vision. Visions are free. To dream is free. And I write about that in my book, so make sure you get one. Okay, to dream is free. It's absolutely free. Nobody is going to charge you for the dream. Nobody is going to send you a bill. So don't restrict yourself. People restrict themselves. I was seeing a comment tonight and somebody was saying that, oh, I can't set goals because I don't have money or I don't have resources. I'm paraphrasing. You've already caged yourself into what you have. You know, when many times when people pray, we pray as if we are the ones that we answer our prayers. We pray the kind of prayer that we know that we can do, that we can do and achieve. Okay, don't cage yourself. Be free to dream. Free yourself. Permit yourself to dream and dream big. So dream it. Take time to dream. What's your dream? What do you want to achieve? And let your dream has to be something long term. It's like 10, 20, 30 years from now. It's not what you will achieve in the next 1 year, 2 years, 5, 6 years. Yes, sometimes in casual conversations we can call it our dream, but in reality, that is really not the dream. And I'll show you, if you are crafting a success blueprint, you have to have a long-term dream, a long-term vision for your life, a vision, not just a dream, but a vision. A vision is something you see. It's something you see, and there's a saying that a dream is what you see and you can no longer sleep. It's not what you see when you are sleeping. A dream is not what you see when you are sleeping. It's what you see and you can no longer sleep. That if you have a big dream, a big vision, it's become a vision. It drives you every day. You can no longer sleep because you want to wake up and get going. You want to wake up and achieve it. It's burning, is a fire, a sweet fire burning in you, and you want to achieve it. So have that vision, and it has to be long term. So if you say, for instance, I want to become a doctor, a medical doctor. Many times I do this training and I ask people to give me their vision and they say, oh, I want to become a medical doctor. That's not a vision. That's a career. That's a step on the way. That's part of the steps you take on the way to your vision. So if you want to become a medical doctor, for instance, what kind of doctor, what kind of practice would you want at the peak of your career? How would you love your career to look like? Would you love to own a chain of hospitals? Would you like to be a cardiovascular surgeon? Would you like to be a well-respected surgeon in the society? What social status would you like to have achieved? What kind of family would you have? What kind of house would you live in? Those are your dreams. And those are the kinds of things that I want you to begin to open up your mind and dream big so that you can set yourself up with clarity for success. Now, designing your personal success script. Again, we said define your success vision and don't be cheap, don't be small. They said if your dreams don't scare you, they are not big enough. I'm a dreamer and I usually dream Dream big dreams, big scary dreams. And when I get scared by my dreams, I get comforted. I'm like happy. Okay, that means that it's big enough. Because if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. So make it bigger, 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 until you start to ask yourself, are you sure? Yes, then you are onto something. Define your success script, and you start with a vision of what will success look like for you. How will it feel? How will it feel when you reach that point? Define it up to the way it will feel. Break it down into goals. Break it down into goals. So you have your vision, which is like 10 years, 20, 30 years from now. Then break it down into goals. 5 year, 1 year goal, and then monthly goals. Break it down into goals. And then break down the goals into actionable steps. What are the step 1, step 2, step 3 you will take to achieve those goals? And then track your progress and adjust. So I'll really rush to the end now because of time. Don't worry, we're still together and there's still so much to cover, and we'll have more time to cover them. So, what are the kinds of things you need to do to make success predictable? First, you need to build habits that support your goals. Build habits that support your. We'll be talking more of this as we move on in the challenge. So I'll just rush through. Build habits. I cannot overemphasize on this enough. And there's so many things you can do to build those habits. We are at a time in history where success is far easier than it used to be in the time of our parents or our grandparents or our forefathers. We now have tools right at our fingertips. Like right now, I'm in the comfort of my home doing this. I mean, in those days, you would have to go to a studio to do anything multimedia. But now, right in the comfort of your home, you can reach the world. So success is far easier, and we really have no excuse to not succeed in our era. We have no excuse. God has given us all the tools and opportunities we need. So all you need to do now is build the habits that support your goal. 2, use tools and techniques to create consistency. So there's so many tools I use. I've just told you one of the most powerful. The smartphone is one of the most powerful tools that we have been given. And within the smartphone, there are so many powerful tools. A few that I will share. My alarm clock in my smartphone is so amazing. It's so amazing. And the way I use it is not the way most of you use your alarm. That's not the way most of you use your alarm. So I use it in a special way. And I'm going, if you join the Goal Achievement Mastermind after this challenge, I will be sharing my secrets to utilizing some of these common apps that people are using and just touching the periphery. You have no idea how it can transform your life. There's so many apps that can instantly, within a day, transform your life. I tell you, I kid you not. Within a day, your life can be transformed. Something you used to labor, you used to spend hours to do. Like I've shown some people, for instance, some people used to forward messages, WhatsApp messages, 5 at a time, and they forward to hundreds of people in every day. People in ministry, pastors, and they forward to hundreds of people, sending them motivational messages every day. And one day, I just looked at my pastor and I asked him, I'm like, these messages you send to me every day, how do you send them? You forward it? He said, yes. And I was like, wow, let me save your life now. Because if I save your time, I'm saving your life. Imagine doing that every day. And I just showed him a technique that he can forward to thousands of people. Normally, he used to spend so long every day to forward to like 100+ people. But now I showed him a technique that he can forward to thousands of people within a few seconds. It used to take like maybe 20-30 minutes to forward to 100 people, but now within a few seconds, you can forward to thousands of people. That's amazing. We are in an era where we have tools and techniques and technology that can buy back our life, that can literally buy you 10 years extra so that you can achieve what you would have used 30 years to achieve before now, you can now achieve in 5 years. So the remaining 25 years, you can imagine what more you can achieve with the remaining 25 years. So it's amazing. It's amazing. We are in an unbelievable era and we need to take advantage. There's so many technology we can be using to save your life and to achieve success quicker and faster and better. Focus on daily repeatable actions. So once you have those habits, you have those tools, you build it into a system and you just plug in every day. Day 1, you plug in. Day 2, you plug in. Day 3, you plug in. And by the time you come to day 365, you have ticked off all your goals and you are there. I can't wait to celebrate you. Okay, so now we are at the end and we have looked at why goals fail and how you can avoid the traps and add the missing element to make sure that your goals succeed this year. We have looked at the 3P framework and how you can use it to align your goals with your divine purpose. We have looked at how to make success predictable, building systems, not just dreams, building systems that help you to achieve success. So I'm so excited for you and I'm rooting for you. So goals are not just targets, they are systems for transformation. Goals are not just targets, they are not just something you tick, I want to do it. It is life changing. It transforms you, it transforms all the people around you. It transforms the people around you. I tell you, this is one of the secrets of my goal achievement because I am ever conscious of the people who are connected to my destiny. I'm very purposeful and I'm ever conscious that people are watching me. And if I take this step, they will take that same step. So I better take that step so they take that step and they reach their own purpose watching me. So again, goals are systems for transformation, not just for you, but for the many people who are connected to your destiny. So your journey starts here. And your first real activity, now that you've written your 3Ps, your first activity, your challenge activity for day 1 is to fill up your success script planner. Fill up your success script planner, and that's the website. I'll share it also to you via email. Download it and fill it up so that you can begin to get on the journey to an amazing you. I can't wait to celebrate you. I can't wait to celebrate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending this 1 hour or so. Yes, with me, it's always my privilege and honor to impact on people because I have identified my divine purpose, and that is human capital development. So, in everything I do, both in my career, in my spiritual life, in ministry, and in my businesses, I always incorporate that element of human capital development, making sure that I share knowledge, I build capacity, I motivate people, I inspire people to do more because that's my ministry. So it's been my pleasure spending this time with you, and I hope that you have gotten value. If you have, please type that you have gotten value and type especially the value you got. So what impressed on you the most? What did you learn? What touched you the most in all the time you have spent here? What touched you the most? I'd like to see it. So type it and also complete your success script planner so that we can get started. If you want accountability, like I said, you can fill the Google form or you can do it as a private exercise. But if you want us to hold you accountable, fill the Google form so that we can continue the journey together. God bless you. Type your questions. Don't forget to type your questions. God bless you.